I happen to come across this drawing of mine on a daily basis, and every single time I think, I made that? What? It tells me I can be better than what I've been doing lately, so I'm gonna take inspiration from myself. And I wanna think back to when I drew this almost, I think, a year ago. The mindset I was in, the amount of time I put into each step of the process, and I want to incorporate that into what I do today. Let's start off in the sketchbook. I thought we could draw a dude too. I know, strange. What's going on with me? It's the last page of the sketchbook. Anyway, I want to use markers, kind of like I did in this illustration. We'll use some line art. I'm gonna probably use 2 sketch layers because I think that's what I did. We're just gonna take our time and enjoy it because I remember having a lot of fun with this. Let me just thumbnail the idea. I kind of want to draw big. I'm thinking like a whole full sheet of paper, maybe a little larger than that. What kind of pose am I looking for? I also like the abstract background and the strange sitting on giant books situation. There's something fairy tale aspect of it. I don't know. She's a tiny itty bitty person. Ooh, wait, I don't think I want to draw a sweatshirt. I'm too sweaty for this. It's gonna make me feel way hotter. You just do abstract shapes. Do they have to be leaves? What's something people use as like background elements? I know people use like flowers, plants a lot. I mean, you can't just use vacuum cleaners, you know? It's gotta be something interesting. I want to fill a page, basically. I'm kind of meandering my way through this. Let's try another thumbnail. I keep using these page shapes to fit my art into because it helps ground me. I don't have to stay within them, but it definitely helps. It's less intimidating than the whole white page. I don't really pay that much attention to male fashion, so I'm not entirely sure what to put this character in. Choose. Like here, I would probably move the page over a little bit. I changed it up, I reversed the hairstyle. Ooh, variety. Glad I tried it, but no, fashion usually inspires me, so let me try thinking about the outfit. A little body. I don't know, man, what do dudes wear? Put some layers. Everybody likes layers. Bit oversized on the top, and then I'll do like maybe some skinny pants. Since I drew that orange inspired character, I've been really enjoying the color orange, specifically this Copic marker pumpkin orange. Boop boop. What a beautiful orange color. Beautifully vibrant. So I want to use that. And maybe more blue too. I should probably keep that in mind when designing the outfit. Anything can be orange. Some sneakers. What about one of these haircuts? These were everywhere in the 90s. We'll try to make them a little cuter than this. But this isn't too bad for an outfit. I might peek this t-shirt underneath. Now I could take that and move into trying to find a pose of some kind. Thumbnailing that. What if he's like leaning up against something? Like a railing? It's not bringing me any excitement. Try something else.
Man spreading.
Arm maybe underneath. Maybe pull the paper over a little. I feel like I should have him sitting on something. Maybe I could just do books again. Is that a cop-out? Let's put some plants back here. If he's sitting outside. Okay, something about this I like a lot more than the other ones. There's something there. Eek. I'm gonna try and draw that pose again. Maybe more relaxed, because it looks very stiff. Feet flat on the ground. Other leg. Maybe some wider shoulders. Kind of push the masculinity is not the word, is it? I don't know. This is a shoulder, this is a shoulder. Real slouchy and comfortable. Might be a little too slouchy. Kind of actually am leaning towards the idea of including some flowers, just because they're traditionally considered feminine, and I think it would look really good next to a more masculine character. Do I need a reason? I'm just feeling it. A little tone. I think I want him to be a little more attractive than this. I mean, if I'm gonna have to stare at him for the next hour. Overshirt thing, regular shirt, t-shirt, I guess. Peeking through there. Flowers. Thinking he's sitting on some kind of like brick wall thing, like a planter. Yeah, he swatched some colors. So I definitely want this. That's like our bold, bright color. What's this Ohu marker? So like those are our 2 colors, which is kind of harkening back to the cover, isn't it? When you mix these. I'm expecting some kind of gray. It's more brown actually. We're gonna need something else kind of blend in here. And then I can use maybe the neutral grays or adding in more contrast in the values, I guess. I grabbed these two Prismacolor. I remember back here I used to use a lot of Prismacolor col-erase pencils for sketching. It would probably make more sense to use some warmer colors. So I have a carmine red and a pink. Just want to see which works better. Kind of color block and see what works. Our little man. Real thick eyebrows. And the yellow, start that with skin. I have a lighter version of this. It kind of looks good on the pink because it brings some like warm tones to the skin. This is pumpkin yellow. Beautiful. And then maybe I'll mix those two for the hair color. Get our gray tone. Warm it up, I'll put the orange back on top. A little bit of gray. I also kind of want to use brighter yellow. A little blush. Blend it out with the lighter one. I know a lot of art styles kind of lean away from the blush when they're drawing men, but I like it. I think it looks good. What happens if I do green? What does that look like over the pink? Take this blue and add some kind of plaid. You can tell this guy shops at Kohl's or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Now what if I go over top with the red? Clean up the sketch. Happy with these colors though. I like the way they look next to each other. Then we could probably take that blue and just throw it back here. I love how saturated and vibrant that looks. I feel like it needs a little contrast though. I can just get away with it in shading. It's all very mid-tony. I'm gonna try a darker gray. This is neutral gray 6. I didn't line the plaids up. Oh no. If it comes down to it, I will just layer the orange with the neutral gray. Right, with a little liner. Although I think the experiment worked with using the pink as the undertone. Looks fine even on the green. And I'll probably actually erase a little bit of it. I don't think I want to lean away from the liner. I think I do want the liner to be more like this one where it's thinner. Obviously I'm drawing smaller so it's going to look more cartoony and thick. But like here it's thinner and less of a focal point. Oh, I think the reason I had the green originally was for the flowers. Maybe a green shirt's a bad idea. Now if I layer that orange with like something pinker, will it look red? I don't want to pull too far away from the orange. If I use the red pencil, yeah, I think that'll work. That would be cute, like some earbuds or something. The white gel pens never work for me anymore. Oh my gosh. I'll just sketch them in, whatever. I like the color combo. I wanted to try it with the carmine red as a sketching color though. I just see how those take with the colors. I'm doing it on yellow now, but I think it'll give me a good impression. Chisel out his chin a little. I want to include flower this time, kind of see how that might fit together. Well, I'm having fun, that's good. How do you draw a collar? I think I'm gonna need a reference. I guess if the shirt's open, the collar actually lays completely different. That's why you get a reference. Well then, that looks less fake. I really like this sketch. Try it with the colors. I really like the skin tone with that orange blush. Silk as the skin and the Napoli yellow. Actually, I think I like this better with the red. Hopefully it's not the yellow tainting my judgment. Blend that out, the blush. For the hair, I wanted to try the pumpkin yellow with cool gray 6, I think. Actually, it's not bad with the ginger.
I wanted some contrast, so here we go.
I'll go back to neutral gray 4. Try as an orange highlight. To warm it up, I'll put the orange on top of the gray. Use neutral gray 6 here. Blend that out with the pumpkin yellow. Not sure if that looks too muddy. Maybe do it a little differently when we get to the finished version. Let me color the flowers first so I know what I can and can't use for the shirt. Oh, this is where the toned paper is going to cause a bit of a problem. Do a bunch of splotches to look like a bush. And train of thought was, oh, pink for the flowers. Then I'm going to layer them over with a yellow to bring them more into the color scheme. Although they look pretty good that way. Stick with the original plan. Ear pods. I like it just adding a little accessory. I think goes a long way into making it feel more like a character. Now that those eyebrows are so dark, it definitely, pencil is not enough for the eyes. I'm thinking maybe we'll do orange. I don't want to do green for the shirt just because there is so much green there. I like pulling it over a little onto this so you can see what the colors will look like on white paper. I'm gonna add liner to the hair, see if it pulls everything together. Ooh. Still think I should find like a brown line art since there's so many warm tones, except for the background's a little cooler. I like adding the line art after the color because then you don't have to worry about any of it bleeding for one. I think it also just ends up being more vibrant because the colors don't blend it out at all. Back to the shirt. We have green and blue as outside elements. The blue isn't touching the shirt, but who knows, it might end up touching it at the end. Yeah, I don't know where the bush might end up in the final illustration. Well, I said I wanted contrast. Why don't we try it? Just black or one of these dark grays. I'm gonna start with the lighter one. Neutral gray 4. And just throw that in. I could do that with the blue. That way it's still a cool color, you know? So it's a darker. And then orange, I'm thinking. Pumpkin yellow specifically. Oh yeah, look how nice it looks with that darker blue. I think we have a bit of a winner. I feel like it needs a little texture though. What about a layer a little green over the orange and a stripe? That might look better if I hadn't put the orange first. I feel like everything's blending well. It's also on toned paper, which helps things look more cohesive, but I think I'm on the right path. Looks like a Dave to me. I do want to find a gel pen that works. I think I should have one. It's one of my number 10s. Jelly roll. Is this too much pattern? Thought I'd try it at least. I wonder if I could just use pink for a little warm shading. Or if that's too much. I'm definitely encompassing more of these positive thoughts that I had making through that. We are heading in the right direction. Let's move on to a bigger piece of paper. Although I'm actually really happy with the way this looks. I think we have a good set of colors. Look at them like this. They kind of look too much for each other. But having those like neutral grays, I think, expands your collection. And you don't need as many markers. I found this in my stash. Bristol board. Ooh, it's supposed to be good for markers. I don't know. I'm gonna just, I don't feel like cutting the paper. So I'm gonna try and use it as is. Draw a nice enormous picture. We'll see how this turns out. Very intimidating, but we know we can do it. Let's start with the paint. On this, the character all fit within it, so I guess I should do the same thing. So we want it very large. It'll be like a head here. I'm gonna draw super faint here because I don't want to erase if it's the wrong size. Interesting. Didn't leave room for the feet, and I really wanted the feet like firmly planted on the ground. The ankles are down here. I like the amount of space up top. I think I just need to shrink everything. I think the head's probably the fine size though, so we'll keep that head. Square out the jaw a little more too. Oh shoot, I like that head. What am I doing? Gotta get the body first. Slouch it a little. Maybe if I pull the knees up a little bit more, like he's really tall and sitting on something a little smaller. We have room for these feet. I do want them slouching a little more though, I think. Pull the butt out and push the shoulders this way. I'm gonna find the shapes in here now that I've blocked it out. Okay. I like the long legs, or the appearance of long legs by sitting them on something shorter. This is gonna be a very difficult foot to draw. I can feel it. I'm gonna keep my pencil very sharp. Don't ask me why I'm collecting all these. I'm just a hoarder. I just realized I drew this the refracted opposite. Now I'm confused. Ooh, dang, he cute. Oh no. Changing his hair a little. Going for more of our Beatles vibe. Let's take that thing that I wanted him to sit on and make it a little bit more three-dimensional. It's like a planter. I'm just gonna put it at a simple angle so I don't have to worry too much about perspective. And it has to hit under his feet. Continue that off the page. Reminds me of a place in downtown Disney. Flatten out the booty. Make it look like he's actually sitting on this because your thighs kind of flatten out when you put your pressure on them. They look a little wider usually. I totally forgot the arms now, didn't I? If I put one hand, he's like using his phone. Not the most readable silhouette, but then it'll give something for like the ear pods, earbuds to connect to. Do the arms seem too short? I think so. To make the pose more readable, I'm gonna bring this shoulder out a little bit more. We can hold it here, and then that creates a little gap here, and that makes the silhouette more readable, I think. Put the little cell phone in here. Oh, I like drawing square shapes for the hands. Why don't I draw dudes more often? Pull this down a little more. It's a little bit smaller of the gap. I think it looks fine. This is turning out. At least it hasn't gone bad yet. Whoop! Ooh, look at that smile. Swoon. Keep the little flip. I didn't keep the bowl cut. It had to go. It just doesn't have the like forehead. No forehead action. Probably should give him some clothing so he's not indecent. I'm gonna turn this to draw this hand. I'm gonna use thicker fingers. I think I'm ready for some clothes and some cool shoes of some kind. This knee actually looks higher than this knee. Pull that up a smidge. Unbuttoned shirt. A few references. Make them nice and even. T-shirt underneath. What if we do some nice high top Converse? I'm working on the hand right now, trying to go behind the view so like these fingers are blocking these fingers. And end it right before the shoe starts. I feel like this knee needs to come further this way. Can I do that without ruining everything? I've been looking at it from this angle, and I just lifted it up and the legs are like really small. I don't think it's bad enough to warrant erasing everything because I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking. Let's go ahead and sketch the shoes because that always makes me happier. Looks like a shoe to me. Wait, I think that logo thing's on the inside, if I remember correctly. Okay, the legs are bugging me a little, but I'm going to ignore that. Probably should finish off his outfit. And the shirt that pokes through there. Just color that in so I don't forget about it. Alright, I think I'm ready to start adding in some colors. Start with the skin, I guess. I'm going to erase some lines that I don't need. The overlapping areas. Probably not completely necessary because col-erase has a habit of kind of obliterating underneath Copics. So let's start there using silk. Careful not to add too many streaks. Piece by piece. Then I get to use that yellow color, Napoli yellow, or however you say it. Some blush. I'm gonna just grab a little like this, nice and subtle. Yeah, see how we're losing the pencil on the nose? I don't know if I want too much of this lower on him. Let's see. I kind of like the way it's mixing with the pink. I think it makes it look much more fleshy. So using this as a little extra shadow. It blends really well on this paper. I'm quite happy. Do the same thing down here. Since these fingers are further in the back, I might color those in. Skin down. The rest to go. For the hair, I believe I used this guy. Pumpkin yellow. I'll leave a little highlight. And I still like it that color, but looking back up there, I do really like the amount of contrast you get with the neutral grays and everything, so. See how much better it looks when you layer it back with the orange? Because it's too cool, and then you add the orange and it warms it right up. On the yellow paper, this was like the lighter gray, and then I used a darker gray, but I think I actually want a lighter gray. I'm gonna try neutral gray too. Clear that up a little. To add a more subtle gradient, to make it look less green. Use our yellow color for the highlight. I think the hair looks better in this. We do have to go darker over the whole thing. Neutral gray 6 for where I put the neutral gray 4. The neutral gray 4 everywhere I put neutral gray 2. Eyebrows. That pulls it together a little. Nice! Now the point was to go over the whole thing so that it was a darker tone, but hopefully this will be good enough and I won't have to just go over the whole thing later. Kinda just want to work my way top to bottom, which is tempting me to use line art next. 0.05. This might be too small, but it does capture the look of this a little bit. Look at that chin. Ooh, look at that thing. Oh shoot, I didn't leave space for the earbuds. Yeah, I guess I'll just continue. For the nose, I'm a little worried about using straight line art, so let's start with just the red. I feel like it's really easy to ruin a nose with line art. Black liner helps tone down the neutralness of the hair. Next, we're doing neutral gray and the blue for the shirt. I can just do the gray first and the blue on top. I like to color it in sections because this color is dark, so it kind of obliterates, like I mentioned, the col-erase. So if I color it in sections where liner needs to go, don't lose sight of that. Follow the flow of fabric helps me keep track of things. It's very easy to lose track of where you're going if you don't have some kind of guideline. And otherwise, what was the point of all that sketching, right? This area. I'd use the darker one there. It's more in shadow, less light, and all that jazz. Then go over all this with the blue. And give it a second layer. Blend it out. Merge those two colors. And then I'm probably gonna add the stripes on top, so it's not that big a deal. If it's patchy or anything. Orange. Playtime. We're just on a walk. You should be exhausted. I am. Oh shoot, I wanted to leave a gap for the green stripe. Shh. Oh, this was the wrong color. I was like, why is it blending in with the skin so much? Pumpkin yellow. Actually, this would look good as a stripe. I kind of like the way I use the orange instead of just coloring the whole thing in. I kind of want orange shoes, so kind of leaves more of a neutral color for the pants. I could either try to just use the neutral grays or go with more of like a khaki kind of color. So I guess this part'd be probably orange too. Line art for down here. Still using that 0.05 line art. I need a larger line art for this little stripe. Kind of like the way the sketch's still there. I'm not going to erase it completely. Just where it's kind of distracting or too dark. As long as I draw lightly, I think I can get away with using this 0.5, which is 10 times as big. That's working just fine. Honestly, doesn't even look that much bigger. Add a little seam. Color in wherever I missed. Maybe add a little shading. And then the pants. Oh, the pants. What to do here? I want a more neutral color, so maybe if I layer the blue with the orange, maybe we'll get exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want it to be too dark, because we did use our dark tone for the overshirt here. Is there some area I can test this? I guess in here, but the colors don't look exactly the same, because the papers are different. So that makes green. Oh, and then we're gonna have that green bush. Shoot! How about white pants? Maybe we'll just add liner. Let's just do that. And then we can color everything else and not have to worry about it. Contrast and everything. Can't get more contrast than white. Oh, I didn't do liner on this arm. And this arm. I think I will add a little liner at the bottom of the nose. Everything else I'll leave pencil. Oh, the other thing we need is the earbuds. I'm hoping I can get away with either just this or some of this. It's cooperating. And then I can add liner around it. Create a more tube shape. Do you want to add like a shadow? I think I want to use the pink because I used pink for shading. I really like this for shading, so I'm just gonna do that a little more. I didn't decide on eye color yet, but I do want to erase it so it's fully saturated whatever I choose so that they're almost blindingly beautiful. I'm gonna start with the flowers, that way I can just add green all around. And then I'm gonna add pencil after all the color, I think. I can just kind of blotch it around sporadically. No need to make these perfect. Blobs will do. Change up the size a little. Be a little yellow on top of that. I'm not gonna go fully over it, just so there's a bit of gradation in color. Green! Splotch them in there like little leaves. More filled in and condensed. Near the edges will be more sparse. Before I move over there, I'm gonna see how I'm gonna shade this. Am I gonna use blue? Gray. Maybe I can like lift it a little with this light green. So I almost just add extra leafy shapes with the green again. Super blendy. Adds a little extra texture. I need to add some smaller ones to color. Gotta color the green in over here. Starting with our green base. Creating those leaf shapes and textures. Probably have some coming over top of the planter too. I love the way the neutral grays react. I think we'll do a little less gray over here. It's probably more in the light. Texture it with just this pen again, going over it. I really like it around the roses. Got a little extra shadow there. I'm not gonna bring it all the way to the edge, I don't think. Voila! Let's grab the pencil. Drawing our roses. We've just been doing little swirlies and I think they look really cool and abstract and I love it. Oh, you know what I like about this side is the little speckles of gray. Just adds a lot of texture, I think. Little swirlies. I color them in too. I think I'm gonna do the orange eyes. Let's throw it in. Nope, that's yellow. Give them a pupil too. Whoa, I never do that. That looks so weird. A blue phone case. Alright, so I can only use these colors for down here. Gotta draw in some like bricks. Start with like orange and pink mix. Just layer all the colors we got, I guess. Make a nice brick texture. I also think I need some kind of path to follow. So I'm gonna layer it first with the orange. I really like the pink ones, so I definitely want a lot of these. Neutral gray was good. Do need a darker one every once in a while. And we can use pencil. Define it a bit better. I need a little shadow to separate the two pieces, I think. Just try layering it underneath everything. With the lighter version. It's a little maybe too much contrast. Maybe if I like throw in some more pencil. I'm trying not to keep them too rigid. I'm trying to keep them more organic, even though they're bricks. I think it'll just soften up the whole illustration. Finally, the thing he's sitting on. What color should that be? What about his skin tone? But with like more harsh shadows. Just trying not to bring any new colors in, you know? Gray. There we go. Nice background for someone who doesn't do backgrounds. Lazy background's better than no background. I honestly don't consider this a lazy background just because of what I usually do as a lazy background. Little sprouts growing up in the cracks of the pavement here. Maybe there's some grass in the distance. I like the painterly background with the more line-arted, is that a word, character. I think it adds a lot. This might be my favorite art piece of 2020. Oh, I didn't add the stripes. I like the way it looks now, but I do think the stripes are gonna add a little texture and keep them symmetrical. And slightly evenly spaced. Kind of trying to follow the flow of the fabric. Right here it's confusing because I don't really know what I drew there, so we'll try to use the stripes to distract from that. Ooh, yeah, I'm so glad I added the stripes. It also ties it in with the white pants. Eye highlight. Kind of regret adding the pupils. It creeps me out, so I never draw them. I feel like we need a little shading for the pants. Basically going to grab the pencil that's already there and kind of smudge it. Deepen up the tone back here. Maybe something a little darker than that. Quickly finish this off. Do I want to add some blue to the background? That was the original plan, wasn't it? Maybe just something small, like a circle, like a water fountain. Here we go. Like a little circle. Some clouds. Little tiny ones. Whoops. Oh, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I finished my sketchbook and created this illustration, which was inspired by this illustration. I'll see you guys all next week, and I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!